as the Lakers win. Zach Lavine, as I mentioned, had 21 points and 10 rebounds in the loss. That line, Reggie, is something that we see a lot of if you're a Chicago Bulls fan. Zach Lavine leading the way and then wondering where the other offense is coming from. Is it coming from Lauri Markkanen? Is it coming from Kobe White? In Chicago, there's questions about how Zach Lavine and his career with the Bulls is parallel to yours. When you came out of college and you came to Chicago Bulls, you were the catalyst. You were the face of the franchise, and you were the go-to guy offensively. And so I'll ask you this. How does that make you feel? And what do you think Zach Lavine's going through, knowing that he's scoring a ton, but yet you were doing the same thing when you came in the league with Chicago, where you were the guy, you had good teammates, but they just weren't at your level. How does that work?
Right. Different type of player. I was a full court, up and down guy, and I came to a team that was a blue collar team that wanted to walk the ball up the court. My first coach was Larry Costello, who kicked me out of practice because I put the ball behind my back. True story. He cussed me out and told me he'd never want to see me do that again. So, and Zach he's a different player, but a different type of scorer. But certainly he's got way more hops than I have, but his bank account is a lot bigger than mine.
Sure.
that is for sure. I look at Zach and I think, because I watched him play at UCLA, so I know his game and I know who he is as a player. And he's right. It does parallel in the sense that he's capable of scoring with anyone in the league. He's capable of playing on the level with any particular group in the league. He may be not the top guys, but anything below that top level, he's right there. So the question for Zach Lavine in my book is he's in control of his own narrative at this point. And he's got a contract coming up. He's got to be thinking of whether he's going to stay or not. He's got to be thinking about, can I get to a team, or can I get to a place where, I have a chance to be that second or third option on a better team that's going to go to the playoffs and have a chance to win. He's getting paid, but he's not getting paid what he would if he was a free agent this year. He'd be looking at a full boat.
Well, what do you think Reggie, what do you think he's going through? You went through the same thing. What do you think he's going through, where it's a team it's going to get better because it's Billy Donovan. That's all automatic. But the point is, though, is that Zach is that dude is a tremendous scorer like you were with the Bulls. So what does that feel like when you're looking at a lot of L's, when you know that you're doing all you can?
It's difficult. And you don't want to be a guy, and this is something that I had to deal with my entire career. You don't want to be the best player on a bad team for your whole career. And that happened to me a lot. I went from Chicago to Sacramento. I went from Sacramento to Atlanta, where we had a really good team. But I was there 1 year, then I went to Orlando. So I was the best player, scoring a lot of points and doing a lot of things, but just on a team that wasn't ever on, playing on Sundays, wasn't playing on Christmas Day. And those things, ultimately, they hurt your career. So he's got to think about, and management has to basically show him and talk to him about their plan, where this is going. Or I would say that Zach's got to start thinking about moving on. Because, and I think that obviously I'm a fan of Billy Donovan, and I know Maurice Cheeks he's got great coaching staff. And that's going to help. And, obviously he's done a great job of blending with them because, he didn't get along with the other guy at all. So it's tough. It's like you go home and you start to think about, I'm doing my job. What else can I do to help the team? And there's really nothing else he can do because he doesn't have anyone that can match what he can do. Now, I had Artis Gilmore, who was a great center, one of the best ever. But that sort of stopped right there. David Greenwood had a couple of good years. Mm-hmm. The difference in the team now and the team when I played is management, ownership. They've won before. Now they know they have a formula. They know what it's going to take, and they have to be able to utilize what they've done in the past to get back there. But for Zach as a personal, he's got to start thinking about himself. He's got to think about his career. He's young. He's got a couple more contracts in front of him, but he's also got to think about what he wants to leave behind. Being the best player on a bad team is not the way you want to spend your career.